Welcome back, everyone, to the new installment in our continuing series of Let's Play King's Quest, aka Passing Down the Adventurer's Cap. That is GoogolplexGamer back with us, Kalablade the Geek, for what is, in my own personal mind, the most infamous of the King's Quest games, for me anyways, because it's not in the fandom, but I have a long and tortured history of not beating this game for 25 years, or at least in that general neighborhood. And I think I mentioned that in the end of the last video. It comes down to the timed aspect, which I've told you all about.
Yeah, tough one.
It is a tough one. Tough enough that, though we have referred to walkthroughs a time or two or three in the past, we didn't explicitly follow one, which is my general plan for this.
It's the hardest in the series, or
At least
as
for...
you heard, the Harvest Moon series.
Yes, the Harvest Moon series. Joke from one of the last episodes. But, yeah, I mean, I could go on and on about why it's hard and how it's hard, but I think you guys will see for yourself as we play this. Either way, it's a cool game, and did a lot of, things that were kind of ahead of its time, which we'll talk about as we're going along too, but it is very, very tricky. So, wish us luck, everyone. We may have to start over if we reach an unwinnable stage or screw up too hard, but we're going to be trying to save as often as possible.
Yep.
And even though we're following a walkthrough, if we find we're taking longer than the walkthrough assumes we would be, like, we can't do as much as it says to do in this block of time before we have to be back where the wizard won't catch us doing something we're not, then we may have to break it up in even more and more trips, because you sneak away from the wizard's house to get stuff from town and from around that area. So, and then you have to get back before he catches you away too, so...
It'll be a process.
It'll be a process. You have to hide stuff under your bed so he doesn't catch you with them, and make sure you, like, when you go through his stuff, you put it back how you found it every time. So it'll be fun. But, yeah, without further ado, I think we can go ahead and get started with the introduction of King's Quest III.
Introduction
to Heir is Human. There we go.
Also got a good old intro song to start us out with.
Yep. Copyright the year I was born, Google. There's our villain, Manananan.
It's pretty grumpy.
It's just Mananan, but it sounds like Manananat Doo-Doo.
Yeah. Shout out to all these people.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy on the bottom's the co-founder of the company that made these. The husband of the lady who wrote this.
And this guy named Larry was born. Yeah, of course he was.
Larry Laffer?
Maybe this is the Harvest Moon
Okay.
series.
Gwydion is a lonely lad of 17. Oh, do you want to read this or me?
Now you can.
Who has lived for as long as he can remember with an evil and cruel wizard by the name of Manananan. Gwydion gazes upon the countryside of Ludor with longing, wishing he were free to leave. But alas, such is not the case. Manananan treats the poor boy like his slave, ordering him about constantly, threatening him and refusing to ever let him leave the premises. Often Gwydion wonders who he really is and how he came to live with the old wizard. But Manananan offers no help in that area.
Look at all them chickens.
Suddenly the front door opens and out stalks Manananan, the wizard.
Gwydion!
He shouts harshly. Dang, dude. Uh-oh, Gwydion rushes to his side, afraid he may be in trouble.
Why are you not working, boy?
The wizard sneers. Gwydion mumbles a faint reply.
The kitchen floor is filthy!
Manananan grumbles.
Sweep it now!
Turning on his heel, the wizard re-enters the house, slamming the door behind him. Such is the story of young Gwydion's life to this point. What's a poor boy to do? Oh well, in resignation, Gwydion obediently follows Manannan into the house.
It's less like Mananana and more like Manhattan.
Manhattan? The Muppets take Manannan. Okay.
Do.
Ready to actually get this thing underway?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You see, we have a timer at the top there, which is what we'll want to follow, I think, more.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it resets or not, so... Right now, we just want to wander around until he gives us a chore to do. I believe there's a few items we can grab early on.
That moose guy up there.
Also, before we read this, we may lose time by doing the more exploration type thing and actually looking around and seeing more of the stuff. But I'd like to at least try and do that as much as we can, and if we find it has fouled us up too much, then we'll do a second run or worry about that then. Alrighty. This is where Manannan eats his meals. You, of course, are not supposed to eat here. You eat in the kitchen. There is a pine table and benches large enough to seat at least 10 people, but the wizard has never had any guests for dinner.
Maybe you can finally talk to the moose.
Yeah, I'll have to try that in a second. The large dining table is made of pine planking. Matching benches run its length on both sides. The table is big enough to seat at least 10 people. There is a little metal cup on the table.
I had no idea.
There is a little metal cup on the table. Let's get the cup before we look at the moose. And try and talk to him. You pick up the little tin cup and carry it with you. I want to check something real quick in our inventory. Okay. Now, certain items, the ones that we are not allowed to be caught with by the wizard, will have an asterisk by them. The cup is not one of them. But that's how you know which ones you're supposed to hide. Which, of course, without a walkthrough as a kid, I had no clue. And also, just so fellow King's Quest aficionados know, the walkthrough we're using or going to try and use for this playthrough to help us out is the one in the King's Quest Companion book. So, that's what we are going to use. Because a lot of walkthroughs will take different paths, since this game has many alternate ways you can go about doing things, and I don't want us to get confused, so, any more than we probably already will. You scrutinize the moose head very carefully, but you see it is nothing but an old head. You do feel sorry for the poor thing, though.
Talk to the moose.
How can you do that?
Maybe next game.
Maybe next game. It doesn't look interesting. Okay. I thought he would come and tell us to do a chore already by now, but I know we can do some stuff in here. This is the kitchen of the wizard's house. Other than your own bedchamber, this is the only place in the house that you feel you can call your own. The wizard rarely enters the kitchen. On cold days, the fireplace is a cozy place to sit. You use the heavy oak table when you prepare food for the wizard. Right now there is a loaf of bread, some fruit, and a mutton chop on the table. I believe we can get all of these safely right now. You take the loaf of bread and carry it with you.
Got quite the pockets.
Nothing new in these games. You take the mutton chop and carry it with you. And what was the other? Was that fruit?
Yeah. Definitely cherries, but it just says fruit.
Generic fruit-flavored fruit.
It tastes like fruit.
Okay, and I don't believe there's anything else we need from this room at the moment, but let me check, because I thought there was some stuff on a shelf we needed. The kitchen shelf holds many ingredients and kitchen implements for cooking. One useful item that catches your eye is the clay bowl you use for all of your mixing. gonna save really quick, just in case. I think there's also a knife we can get in here or in the other room. Okay. I thought we would see the wizard by now. Isn't that a spoon on the wall, too? Let me see. There is an iron rack hanging on the wall by the fireplace. Let's look at the rack. So your trusty knife is hanging on the rack. Your wooden serving spoon is hanging on the rack. I should be allowed to get those, because they're actually mine to use, as far as the wizard's concerned.
Yeah.
You take the carving knife from the iron rack and keep it with you. Get spoon. You take the wooden spoon from the iron rack and keep it with you. Get the bowl. You're too far away.
I think it's the bowl on the other shelf.
Oh, maybe.
Because it stands out more. Because usually random items don't have black shadows unless they're like brown or gray or something.
You retrieve the clay bowl, yep, from the kitchen shelf and take it with you. Well spotted, Google. Let's have a look at our inventory again. Yeah, everything here is safe. Oh, and I don't remember if I mentioned in the intro how the game has haunted me for 25 years, yes, but the last time I even tried to play it really seriously was before you were born, so it's been a good while either way. I believe that is everything we want in here. Ah, here he is.
Gideon! You were assigned a chore! You know what happens to lazy boys?
Mananan shakes his head in disgust.
The kitchen is so dirty! When will you learn to obey?
Up goes the dreaded finger. Oh god, not the finger.
But he didn't even give you a chore.
No, he didn't tell us when we started to do anything unless he did it in the intro and we missed it, did we?
I don't know. We need to work off a little with that weight, Gideon.
Snarls Mananan. Boy, do you hate these little sessions. But no pain, no magic.
Whoa.
He can punish us 5 times. The music. He can punish us, I think, up to 5 times, but the 6th time is, I believe, according to the companion book here at least, always a death. But, I mean, everyone watching, he totally didn't tell us to do anything, but I felt in my bones something was wrong, like...
Yeah.
We should be doing something, but he didn't tell us what.
They're really moving. Is he playing Dance Dance Revolution?
Since this came out in '87, it's probably just aerobics, but we can pretend it's KQDDR. Or DDRKQ. Okay. It's DDRKQ, okay?
Maybe he invented DDR.
Mananan or Gwydion?
Both. It was a team effort. They both invented DDR.
Phew. Also, when this came out, before people made it to a certain point in the game, they were all confused, because this isn't Graham. He's not even royal. How is it King's Quest?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go clean the kitchen. Maybe we're supposed to now. Like I said, we may have to start this over, but that was weird.
It is the kitchen. That's not the kitchen, that's a fireplace.
That's the dining room in here.
Didn't you say the kitchen?
Yeah, this is the kitchen. I need to get the broom here, I believe, to clean the kitchen with.
Oh.
Yeah, everything says he's supposed to tell us what to do first. And I recall it being that way as well. So it could have been a bug or a fluke, or we're just not paying attention. If so, we're off to a great start. Take your time, Gwydion. It's been a few months since we uploaded the last one. Hope everyone's been doing alright. Okay, now what?
Oh.
He's probably, yeah.
Gwydion! I decided to take a journey.
Alright, we've got, I believe, 25 minutes. It is now go time.
Alright.
Time to start snooping around the house. I'm tempted to turn the speed of the game up a little bit. I think we might have done that on the previous ones. But I believe that also will affect certain time-based elements later on that are very tricky as is. I know we do have to face a Medusa, and we do have to face a Medusa and, like, blind her with a mirror rather than ourselves. Not blind her, but turn her to stone. We also need to keep an eye out for Manannan's cat, who is a little butthead.
Of course, he has
There
a cat.
he is.
All the villains like this are always stroking their cats in their little chair maniacally.
Yes, that actually came from James Bond originally. Whoa, look, cat!
Cat.
I bumped the caps lock. Look, cat. That detestable pet of Manannan's is a constant annoyance. Alright.
Some people probably never even noticed the cat when playing until it moved.
So we should have till about 30 minutes into the game. That's our room, but I don't believe we have anything we need to hide under our bed right now. But that is a place, from what I understand, Manannan won't bother us as long as we're in there.
Nice.
So it's a safe zone. Unless I am mistaken. Ignore the cat for now. Want to go into the master's bedroom. It's an ugly, ugly bedroom.
Yeah. Is he a Barbie?
You look at Manannan's elegant bedchamber. You see fine furnishings from a regal bed to a beautifully carved closet. You can't help but compare this handsome room to your own meager cubicle.
Hey, at least he gave you something.
True, true.
It's not just a little closet under the stairs.
Nice mirror effect for back then.
Yep.
Imperfections. Oh yeah?
Maybe you'll see the one you love on the other side.
Ha! Don't think it's that mirror. Imperfections in the glass make your reflection wavy. Nevertheless, your rags show up all too clearly. But though in rags, your face is handsome and your body strong.
You're so big and so well grown.
Okay. In the vanity drawer are many uninteresting items. Although the wizard's hand mirror may come in handy. You grab it, then close the drawer. That will be handy.
Yes.
We look out the
For
window.
some reason that specific window, because it doesn't have any pattern on it, looks like it's just fake.
Yeah, it
So
almost
the
looks
other
like it was
windows
a painting or a...
have patterns. But
You
that one
can
doesn't.
see most of the countryside of Ludor from this vantage point. Let's look at the dresser. The elegant dresser is made of mahogany. Its drawers are graced by beautiful gold knobs. You find baubles and trinkets which do not interest you. Suddenly your eye falls on something that does, a vial labeled rose petal essence, which you eagerly take.
Drinks.
You want to drink that. Actually, rose petal essence wouldn't taste bad. Rose petals are edible.
At least we'd have something to drink.
Is that a wardrobe? Not sure what word they're looking for here. Yep, closet. The closet is fashioned of ornately carved mahogany. I think there's a key on top of the closet or something as well we need to get. You see voluminous velvet robes, satin slippers, peaked hats, and soft linen gowns. You're startled to discover an ancient parchment scroll. Its ink has faded, but it seems to be a map. Taking this treasure, you leave everything else exactly as it was.
You will never know.
You are not close enough to reach the top of the closet.
Not really anything on the top.
There is, though. Even though it doesn't show up, I know there is. I'm almost positive. You run a hand along the top of the closet. Suddenly you touch something metallic. Grabbing it, you discover a small brass key. What could it unlock?
Oh, it really is small.
Can you imagine trying to find stuff like that without a walkthrough or any help and even thinking? It's like, that's very important. We need that to win. Alright, that is everything in his bedroom, if I recall. We're gonna save.
Yeah, especially if you didn't have a walkthrough, they made this a little tough.
Whoop. Okay. Hang on, just a sec. I think we want to go upstairs now really quick. There's a bunch of ingredients and things we need to gather that will help us make spells that we will need to escape him and get away from him.
Oh.
But what we ultimately need to do first is find a way to get rid of him entirely.
Is that a fly on the ground?
It is indeed.
Oh.
I was just checking. I don't think it matters if you're doing things with the cat watching. But we're going to need to deal with the cat in a way too, and get a piece of their fur at some point. He's leaving. Or maybe not. Let's see.
I'm just moving to the other.
It doesn't look
Side of the room.
interesting. You pick up the dead fly and drop it into your hand. Disgustedly, you look at it. I don't want to carry around a dead fly, you think. Picking off its wings, you throw the rest away.
That fly is at least twice as big
That is a massive fly.
as the brass key.
Yeah, you can see the fly. You can't see the key at all. It's because it's supposed to be a secret key.
You're too far away.
The despicable cat slips away from your grasp with a fierce scratch to your arm. I know you can eventually get it.
He's just a slow cat.
Maybe you can't do it until you know you need the cat hair. Let's see if I can just get the cat hair. You don't have the cat. Nope. May take a few tries. Nope, another scratch.
Get the cat here. You have to get the cat first. Get the cat. You can't get the cat.
I'm gonna get you. We're gonna get you. You can always try again later, too. Maybe there is a secret to it, or maybe you just can't get the cat until you know, like the game tells you you need the cat hair, like I said. But I feel like you can do it. I feel like you can do it whenever. I believe it has you do it before even going to the place where you find out you need it, according to the companion, which is what we're doing. Alright, well, I'm going to reload just so we're not wasting precious time.
You already have.
If we're not going to get the cat, maybe we need to do it or try and do it on a different screen. Let's actually look at the room we're in. You have entered the musty tower of the old wizard's house. A polished brass telescope is directed out a window. From here, Mananan spies upon the poor occupants of Ludor. I look through the telescope.
All these other windows, though, have like some sort of pattern, but that one in his room doesn't.
I believe it's supposed to be an open window, because that's where you can dump his chamber pot, which is actually one of the chores he can give you. Lovely, right?
Yeah.
Mananan has
So
the
lovely.
brass telescope pointed out a window. It's well polished to use it. Okay, I think we already read that, basically. I'll try the cat again in a little bit. We're still doing okay on time. I know we need to get the cat hair eventually. There's stuff we can do downstairs. We can find his study. But most of what we do down there, we'll have to cover our tracks after the fact. So if we do it, we want to make sure we have everything we need
Geez,
first.
who's that old fella? Isn't that Da Vinci over there?
Does look kind of like Da Vinci. Let's have a look.
What's a painting?
What's a painting? There are 2 candles attached to the wall to light your way up the dim staircase. They may not even know that. Yeah, that's okay.
Portrait.
It's either him or a fellow wizard in his lineage or some such. I want to quickly check something in our trusty walkthrough real quick here. According to the walkthrough for getting the cat hair, it says it will just take several tries. Okay, we're going to be going to a secret lab where we will need to prepare at least one spell before we go and try and leave the house and climb down the mountain. But let me double check. Do we need the cat hair for this spell? Because if we don't, we can get it later. Let's check our inventory really quick. Okay.
Yeah, lots of stuff you can't be seen with.
Yes. We don't have saffron yet. Where do we find the saffron? We're going to need that for the spell. I think the saffron might just be downstairs. Yes. Alright, I think we're still doing okay, so let's keep exploring a bit.
What kind of map is that?
We can have a closer look at it in a minute. Mananan is very private with his study, and doesn't like you poking around. The huge oak desk is covered with his writing implements. An oak cabinet is in the corner. There is a chart on the rear wall. The bookshelves are filled with books on every subject. The wizard fancies himself to be quite a scholar.
It must be some sort of fantasy map. Of course it is.
Oh, that's our map that we're holding.
Oh.
The magic map's ink has faded away so far. It isn't much help. In this thing, it's kind of like the magic map in part 6. But once, this is basically a blank version of the whole game's map. And once you explore a section, it'll fill in there so that we can teleport to get to and from the house quicker.
Oh.
So it'll become a little easier. Press F6 to teleport, press F8 to put the map away, F8 for now. F8 for now. F-lock must be on.
Can't find F-lock.
There we go. Let's try and get the cat again while he's in here, because it says it'll take several tries, but we need to get the cat. We will need that.
Get the cat.
We did it!
Hey, we did it.
Nimbly, you grab the nasty cat by the scruff of its neck, avoiding its needle-sharp claws. Now that you have it, what are you going to do with it?
Squeeze it.
Eat cat! No, I'm just kidding. Get hair.
Squeeze.
Heh heh heh. You manage to pluck some fur before it viciously scratches and leaps from your arms. With grim satisfaction, you survey your wounds.
Stupid cat.
You scoff.
Whether you know it or not, you help me.
Wow, you're making him sound real nasty. Of course, he's being pretty mean to this cat, but this cat will try and, like, trip us down the stairs and kill us and stuff. The detestable cat leaps from your arms, snarling and screeching. I mean, you remember who Gwydion turns out to be, of course. Let's have a look. The oak cabinet has a brass handle on its door. Your feather duster is lying on its top. That's to dust the room. You unlock the oaken cabinet using the brass key. Inside, you find the wizard's magic wand. You take it with you, knowing it could mean death if he finds it missing.
Close that back up.
Well, we need to take it with us for now. After closing the door, you carefully relock it. Have a look at these shelves of his now.
Good thing cats can't talk, or he would tell them everything.
I know, right? So many books line the bookshelf. You wonder when Manannan has time to read them all. Titles cover many subjects, from ancient Arabic mythology to a study of the heavens, to the philosophies of Socrates. Philosophies of Socrates, dude. Aha. You push the large book aside, revealing a metal lever attached to the back of the bookshelf. A trapdoor opens, revealing steep stone steps leading into darkness. Save!
That is definitely worthy of a save. Da-da-da-da. Into darkness.
And luckily the cat is not on these steps, because if he is, you pretty much, I think, want to leave and come back until he's not, or he will trip and mess you up.
Oh.
So, let's have a look around though. You are on a flight of steep underground stone steps. They curve downward toward a dim light. The open trap doors above you. We could also be playing one of the fan remakes of this instead, which would make life a lot easier since they're point and click. But we didn't do that with the previous two either. We're staying legit Sierra with this. So far, so good. Maybe the cat will leave us alone now more likely that we pulled the hair.
Maybe.
Or we're just lucky. You look in awe around this torchlit underground room. It appears to be a laboratory. A wizard's laboratory. Against the earthen walls, there are rows of shelves holding numerous jars which contain strange, unknown ingredients. Whew. The shelves also hold skeletons with small animals and birds, some human skulls and bones, and other odd instruments whose use you do not know.
Like the trumpet.
Yeah, that's an odd instrument. I don't know what they use that thing for.
A flute. What's up with that?
I know, right? Piano?
Xylophone. What's up with the xylophone?
Against the earth wall is a massive oak table with a spacious worktop. The narrow stone steps lead up to the wizard's study. Alright, I think we want to get some ingredients like that saffron I know we need. What's ingredients? Look shelf. You curiously gaze at the strange jars of ingredients. Didn't we already read this? No, okay. The animal and human bones and other odd implements which line the rows of shelves. You see jars of ingredients resting on labeled shelves. Shelves bearing such ghastly names as powdered fish bone, nightshade juice, mandrake root powder, saffron, toad spittle. You startled the heck out of me. And toadstool powder. It's like, because we're using the walkthrough, we already know we need the saffron. Otherwise, we would look at the spell book and know that way. But the spell, the spell book, basically, the spell casting was their way of checking for copy protection, because you only can cast the spells properly if you have the book that comes with the game. Or the companion has them reprinted in there, too. You remove the jar labeled saffron from the laboratory shelf and carry it with you. Alright, I think that's everything we need to start casting some spells.
I am laughing at the inappropriately shaped thing on the table.
Oh, are you now? You've grown up so much since we started this series. Alright, That's a mortar and pestle, but whatever, dude. Whatever.